Good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, depending where we are around the world. Close that. And see what we come up with moving forward today. Let's see if we can hit the stream record. We have a stream going. Did take a loss yesterday in my session. He was pretty much break even with me on. But anyway, moving forward here today, we'll have a look at both gold and GJ. Gold potentially looking good for sales, guys. So I want to quickly get the analysis out of the way, and we will contemplate potential sells. I'll let you guys know what I'm looking at. Guys, in the meantime, if you have questions or any charts you'd like me to look at, feel free to send those into the chat, and I'll get to you all shortly on both YouTube and TikTok. Welcome, guys. And let's get started, and let's have a look at the gold. And starting at that weekly time frame, and what we can see is, once again, off the back of that previous weekly candle, strong or weak bearish, sorry, but that upper wick suggests grab liquidity from the upside. From what level? I mean, all we can say is that 3,500 flat psychological round number. I mean, other than that, there is no data to the left to go off. However, if we were to begin to break that previous weekly candle's low, once again, I feel there's a higher probability we could continue to the downside. So let's just mark in the previous weekly low and onto the daily time frame. And we can see we're just stuck in a range here, consolidating on the daily. What we do have though is the previous daily did actually close back bearish. So if we were to begin to break the low of that previous daily, I'm going to start to trade with counter probabilities being to the downside on the daily time frame. However, having said that, it's also marking, seeing we are at a strong level on the daily. Let's mark in the current daily candles high and see what we may have if we were to begin to pop back up and begin to pop above our own daily candle high. Now onto the 4 hour, structurally actually does remain bearish. We continue to respect this strong level of support though. We're smack bang in the middle of the range at the minute. I'm just going to mark in the most recent levels of resistance and support, and we're going to see what we've got either side of it. So gold currently at a 4 hour support. Alright, interesting. May change my mind in regards to sell options. But what we can see, I mean, you can draw another level into the downside too, guys. Once we get down to the M30, did that by accident. Once we go down to the M30, we can see we actually got some clean candles here. If we were to adjust this zone, the most recent support, we have the 30-minute structure now. That's technically bullish, so the bias is technically neutral still. We've got the weekly and the 4 hour being bearish. We've got the daily and 30-minute being bullish. I'm just going to mark in some levels here again. Mark in one whole level, to be honest. I'm not necessarily going to be looking for the buys at that blue zone above 33.22. May look for buys though a little bit before it. We're about to confirm some resistance here on the 30. We've got it on the 15. So for me on gold just now is what I'm seeing. 30 looks like it could be closing back quite a strong bearish candle. Current daily is forming bearish. Previous daily closed bearish. If we were, and also the weekly, so if the weekly candles again, current candle is forming bearish. If we were to begin to create a minor support here on the 15 at the current level, won't have that confirmation for another 5 minutes. We could potentially look to take a sell below the minor support, targeting the current daily candles low. Now, what we can do is use the fib to determine whether it's a strong or weak closure, but at the minute it's popping back up. So if it closes up near its high, I would then need to wait for a stronger confirmation, such as a candle closure back below, and that's just a simple rule for me to follow. We saw what having these rules does yesterday. Not only means you're getting on the probability side of things, the high probability side, you're also preventing yourself from taking some losses as well. So, I mean, if the candle was to close potentially like so, I would consider selling it below the support. So I don't have that confirmation just yet. However, what I would also consider is if price was to begin to pop back above the most recent swing point, most recent minor resistance formed here at the 33.14, 70, 78, I would contemplate options to look for a buy from above that level. That point there, we do have relatively clean traffic, enough for about 50 pips up to the next minor level here. 4 hour will be popping back above its own high. So And also, again, we're at a very strong level on the higher time frame. So at the minute, we're waiting to see how this candle closes. Now, the 30 could potentially close bearish engulfing. My issue with that's normally a really strong candle, so let's just mark it in. My concern with that is stop loss is going to be a big one. Look, a less than 15 actually closes near its low, suggesting we've grabbed some liquidity from the upside. And what would normally follow is the next candle create just a small upper wick and begin to drop. If we close like so, I'm a bit concerned that we may be exhausting to the downside. And therefore, I'm probably likely to wait for a little bit more data to print. So if we do form minor support and still look for the same original plan, or to see if we actually form that support, head back up and begin to either reject 33.14 or begin to pop above it and close above it. So for the time being, we're just going to wait just over 2.5 minutes just to see what his candle closes now. Let's just say that is the low. Alright, stop loss not that bad off 15. Let's quickly have a look at the news as well, guys, just to be certain there's nothing about at the minute. Alright, so we got some German news, prelim CPI. It says all day, but I'm sure there's an actual schedule for that release. If anyone knows, let me know. But otherwise, it's a big day. I mean, we've got a big day for the US with ADP, GDP, and GDP as well. So we need to be aware of that. Obviously, a big week in the news with NFP to come on Friday. So that is gold, guys. That's what I'm looking at. We'll see how this candle closes and if we can figure out a way to get involved. Let's just quickly look at GJ. I'll use the chart for the minute that I sent into the members group for the Asian session, actually. And for me on GJ, I'm not really looking to buy it at the minute. It's still much the same as yesterday, still chopping about. I'd honestly rather let it create a clear move up and look for it to reject 191 and see if we can get some sells or begin to pop above that level. But I will go over the analysis shortly. Just keep an eye on gold and see if we can find a way in. So how are we, team? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome to all the new followers. Thomas says it will drop. Potentially. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's closing relatively weak bullish now. I want it to start to pop up because that would render the entry invalid. But if it closed like so, I'd be prepared to consider that just a little bit of a pause. And if we broke the low, then we could have an option to sell it. So what you need to do is determine what lowest point of the current bullish candle on your chart is. And you're potentially looking for an entry just below it, but it's popping up. Well, it's not a bad closure. I need an upper wick. Definitely need an upper wick on this candle. There is no entry without it. We saw the importance of it yesterday. Now the low of the previous candle on my broker, 33.0765. 33.0745 potentially. Now it's a bit of a tricky one to manage the way this candle actually closed, because normally in this situation what I would do is look to manage it as it flips back bullish if it did trigger me in. By that point, that is 2/3 of the way into my stop loss, which would be back above the high of the previous candle. How far do we need to travel to be triggered in? About 20 pips, not too far. Alright, we'll keep an eye on it. So that's what I'm contemplating, guys. At 33.0745. Looking for, at this rate, potential sell option. Based off the little weak pause within price action, did reject, pop back below some resistance here to the left. We are actually forming a bearish candle on the daily, so are we just pulling back within it? If we break this most recent minor support, there's a good chance we're heading back down to the next level here at 33.03 roughly. But if it pops up much higher, we're going to have the same issue as what we've had of late. Stop loss is going to be a big issue. So I'll need to reconsider if we begin to break the high of the previous candle. Carl, morning to you, mate. YouTube, everyone on YouTube, Jack, Wei Liang, Tony Gold, appreciate you all. Alright, so it looks like we could be about to break the high. Not sure if I'm liking this as much anymore, but we'll see. Alright, TikTok, welcome. Slam, thank you for sharing live. Nuno, this is gold. Mark, more to you. Five minute bit of consolidation doesn't look fantastic in all honesty on the 5. To my team, here is the link. Laser Crypto Man, g'day to you. I've got a trade around the same area. Will be the flip of the 4-hour candle. Okay, yeah, it's just flipped back bearish. It's only a few minutes in. So the reason for why I'm laying up this entry is, first of all, we've got a relatively strong bearish previous candle. Actually, looks like it just closed below. Just broke the low of that previous candle by 1 point. It did. So that's a liquidity candle itself. Broke the high, went on to break the low, closed back relatively strong bearish. Within it, we formed a minor support. So if price was to begin to pop below that minor support, there's a high probability we could make our way back down to 302, 303, 302 sort of region. But if this takes too long to potentially play out, or if it pops way too far back up, I'm just going to remove the order. I actually haven't set it yet, I've just got it sitting here. Mark, horrible consolidation all day yesterday. Yeah, gold, there was nothing for me on gold. Laser Crypto Man. Yep, yeah, hourly, yes, the rejection hourly looks good, just crane the upper wick. Just call it kill. Nobody closed. It's bullish, I guess. No, look, I'm very bullish on gold in the long run, the overall picture. But trading it at the buys to me is technically neutral at the minute. Yes, Here's back to your 08. More into you. Alright, so it's breaking the high of that previous candle. Let's see my broker. Is it going to grab liquidity just to head down low? It will all depend on stop loss here. If it begins to widen too much, I'm just going to wait. If it gets towards the last 5 minutes, then once again, I'm just going to wait. Lazy Crypto Man caught a small scalp with the retracing Asian session. Nice one. Alright guys, so I'm going to, well, I haven't even said it, but I'm going to take that off the screen because I will no longer be interested. Pull back a little bit too far. Let's watch and see how the candle closes now. There is no buy entry for me at the minute. It does look like a decent reversal signal on the 15, but we're trading up against the higher time frame, which is the 30, which was a strong bearish closure. So for me, I'd rather not trade into that bearish candle. And what I could also do is I could look, if this was to take a while to actually make up its mind, if it was to hang around the current area and close pretty much as so on the 30-minute, I would look for an entry a little bit higher up on the following candle as it breaks this support. This candle's low. So there still could be options, guys. In the meantime, let's set an alert on gold. And let's do the top down on GJ. Look at gold now. Wow. Stop loss is just going to be a little bit too wide. Liquidity candle though, it's not that bad a play. Looking at GJ and starting the weekly time frame. To be honest, guys, for me, I'm probably won't even worry about GJ today. It's still stuck in trash. Weekly is forming weak bearish. Previous weekly was strong bullish. It's an inside bar candle. Absolutely no direction so far. Within the current weekly, we've got the daily structurally still bearish, but we are just consolidating. Again, previous daily closed doji candle, right? It obviously broke the low, but had a higher, lower high as well. No candle probabilities whatsoever on GJ. On the higher time frame, 4 hour is technically bullish. It's still stuck in an absolute shit fight of a mess on the 4 hour, but we'll mark it in either way. We'll work our way down to 30-minute, which is, by the looks of things, technically it has flipped. It is bearish. Could be flipping back bullish shortly. Could adjust that zone. Change that to blue. Alright, so GJ, it's actually looking a little bit better. So we've got the 4 hour structure as bearish. No, sorry, the 4 hours is the only bullish one. 4 hour on the weekly are bullish, and the daily and the 30 are bearish. So the bias is neutral. It's approaching a resistance. It's approaching with volume. So we're gonna need to see a price action catalyst form within a candle that closes back bearish on the M30 here. From the current level, if I was to consider any options to sell it. Oh man, that's when gold's gonna make the move. I need to wait for the 15 closure, guys. And seeing we've come from pretty much the Asian session lows, I need some sort of exhaustion before looking for entries to the upside. So preferably triggering some sellers, begin to pop back above, and then I will consider the buys. We do have some clean traffic to the left hand side. Oh man, look at gold. That liquidity sweep. It's gonna work again, isn't it? It's a really tough one to trust though, having such a wide stop loss. Alright, I need to just wait 4 minutes and see where this candle closes, and then reassess, see if I do have an option still. Yeah, so GJ, I'm looking for some exhaustion. We have tapped in and we are rejecting at the minute. So I could potentially look for the sells below. It just depends on what sort of catalyst I do get. Otherwise, should read buys above. gold. Crazy. And that's pretty much it on GJ at the minute. But if it does reject and ends up pulling back into this consolidation, it's just going to be an absolute write-off yet again. So we'll see. Back to gold. 3 minutes. Can you take along 33.04, 33.53 if you'd like. I don't trade like that, to be honest. I'm still price action. Pips, ticks, and points. I find the 15M minute manipulation candle gives me a high probability. Yeah, well, I mean, it works constantly, and it's working now. It's just a very wide stop loss. Yeah, look, I didn't trust it. All good. I now just need to patiently wait. Can't jump in now. So again, it's going to come down to the following candle. Look, if this candle melts, there's just no entry. I've missed it, unfortunately, if that's to be the case. Oh man, that would have been a pretty sweet entry, but it looks all good. So again, it'll come down to, first of all, if it's valid, I'd like to close pretty much where it is at, would be nice. Then I want to see an upper wick, and I'd look to either take it as it flips back bearish, or likely as it breaks the low of that previous candle. Don't want it to start pulling back up though. It's just gonna make it, to me, look like it's a little bit indecisive if it leaves long wicks in either direction. Laser quick command, yep, sells well. Yeah, and that's another thing. Monthly candle is closing today, obviously. Mo gold bearish. It's neutral, the bias is neutral. But for the bias, it needs to come from either lower down or back above 33.15. Alright, we don't want to close like so, guys. We want it to engulf. Taking longs, what, at 33.34, you're well off that level, mate. I'm just focused on the current level. Alright, it's a pretty shithouse closure, by the looks of it. All good. You would have had about maybe close to 15 pips. Yeah, once you count for spread. Would have had about 14. Still would have been a very wide stop loss. So there's no entry here. It's closed back above the bullish candle low. Yeah, it would not have been worth it either way. So I'm glad again. Stuck to my rules, stuck to my plan. So Mr. B, there's no entry at the minute. How about GJ? So it's still the first 15 minutes of the M30. Alright, this isn't bad on GJ. We can start to form a little bit of minor support after we're seeing we're tapped into that resistance. Or even if we were close back bearish, perhaps that may provide an option. But man, appreciate you as always. Hope you're well. $33.04. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's fair enough. Lumac, GU. It's at a bit of support at the minute. I think it's a level I marked it from yesterday. It is. It's still in the exact same range as yesterday, and it's still, by the looks of things, quite bullish. Yeah, it's bullish across the board. However, you have a catalyst to counter trend trade it. The daily actually closed back bearish. If it begins to break below that previous daily candle, you're starting to have trade with counter probabilities being to the downside on the higher time frame. It also starts to pop below this resistance here to the left hand side. Wow, it's still bullish across the board. Do have some clean trapping below though, that previous daily candle's low. So for me, seeing the current daily is also falling bearish. What I'd be waiting for is quite simply closure below, retest, continuation. It's just consolidating at the minute, so I would not consider any impulse entry. I'd want to see a nice strong closure below. We've tapped into this level multiple times, today and yesterday. So if we were to reject, it's going to be difficult finding clean levels to buy it, because you're buying straight into consolidation. So I would prefer to look for options to sell or just avoid it. Let it create some clean moves if it is to remain above the support. Clean move up and then pull back, and then I may consider trading it again or trade it. Otherwise, I would prefer to sell options, just much cleaner. Boy, you're looking to buy on gold? My bias is neutral. So I don't mind selling it. I mean, it sells below 30-minute / 15-minute support also are an option. Price was to begin to pop below that point there. Like so. So that's the current range we're trading within. We're right in the middle of it. Don't forget to smash that screen, team. YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button. Streaming obviously on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. If you want the full screen, you'll have to jump across to the YouTube stream. Make sure to like, sub, all that sort of stuff. Franco, more to you, mate. Very choppy price action at the minute, a little bit difficult. Gold in 5 minute M5 frame. Next down channel trend. like that. I mean, the 5 minute looks like it wants to come down, but again, it's just the price action is terrible. So I'm looking for the same thing here. I'm counting on it not tapping into target, and I'm just going to wait for a little minor support to form. And look for entries below the support. Do we maybe have an entry above this point here? That is something to consider as well, but not just yet. No, thank you for sharing the like. Once again, you got quite a wide stop loss. If you're trusting off the 5 minute, you're looking at 44 pip stop roughly, and you've got maybe 28 pip margin roughly. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, I need to let it reset, so I need to work out a way I can get a better stop loss. And that would be, once again, off the back of maybe a 15 minute little pause candle in between, similar to this. Yeah, I'm just doing what works for me. If you guys have your own signal, by all means, you trade it. Mario, good morning to you, mate. Welcome. Laser Crypto Man, it does look like it, but irrespective of that, I still need to follow what works for me. I'm not familiar with any price action pattern at the minute. So, in accordance to my playbook, I don't have a valid entry at the minute. So I'm prepared to, if it does melt, I'm prepared to let go and then reassess. Meantime, guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Just like that, look what happens. Go for a quick pit stop and gold punch straight back up. So again, my rule's protecting me. Had I taken impulse entry, I'd be licking my wounds right now, stuck in what that would have pretty much been the entry, about 25 to 30 pip drawdown. So I would have closed it more than likely. Wei Liang, GJ. It's at a nice level, that's for sure. But I definitely wouldn't be considering buying it. It's made a substantial move as is, so I need to let it reset again if I'm to consider buying it. Otherwise, I'd be looking for rejection for possible entries to sell it. Mo, better wait to 33.02, maybe looking for a buying point. That's also a pretty good option, in my opinion. Because the more data we print just now, the more difficult it will be to find entries from the current level and within the current range, to be honest. So if it's nothing wrong, just waiting it out and letting it come back down to that support and looking for a decent confirmation to buy it. It's not that convincing at the minute though. And also again, there's lots of news about, guys, so could be a bit of a struggle. Big day for the US dollar. Good morning to you. That just looks nasty to me, to be honest. But bit more into you. It's looking a little better at the minute, gold. Got a liquidity candle on the 5 minute now. Forget it either way, it's got no lower wick than a 15. Yeah, I'm just not convinced. I need a little pause again, and we're running out of room here, so it's likely gonna require me waiting for price to come down to 33.0203 and look to see what happens at that point. And this is, prior to that level, this is probably my last hope for any potential sell. If it closes weak bullish in the 15. Just not convinced that it's not a quality entry just now, in my opinion. Lace, good morning to you. Welcome to the team, by the way. Do you trade in P news? No, we shouldn't be trading the news. That's something you will learn you'll learn quickly. It's just too risky. It's way too risky. You're gonna get things like slippage. You're gonna get slipped on your entry. You're gonna get slipped on your stop loss. If you're lucky, you're gonna get slipped on your TP. It's gonna burst through it and give you extra pips, but it's just way too risky. Way too risky. The spreads widen a crazy amount. It's exhilarating, I understand, and it's exciting because you can make some very quick coin, but if you're on the wrong end of it, you can lose your account. To be honest, that's how crazy it is. So yeah, so have a read of the messages in the VIP. I've tagged all the new members, so giving you a bit of direction where to start. And I hope to catch you live. I mean, you can join a Zoom call now if you want. But otherwise, hope to catch you live either later today for the MI call or on another session moving forward. Laser Crypto Man? Yeah, not me. Definitely not me. Not gonna lie though, I have tried it in the past, years and years ago. Learnt my lesson. Got slipped 100 pips on a gold entry once. So I got slipped on my entry, then it popped all the way back in the opposite direction, took out my stop loss. Account blown. In like maybe 30 seconds. Nothing major, it wasn't a huge account, but still. It was something like 500 bucks. It was just a gamble, pure gamble. But to me, I treat this like a business. It's a job. Plus, when it's your own money on the line, you should have more respect for it. So yeah. ByBit, I'll type it into the chat. Laser Crypto Man, yeah, I think we've all done that. Alright, GJ, so it is looking like it's running out of a bit of steam to the upside here in regards to the buy pressure. Still got a pretty strong closure on the M30, so I need to see some sort of catalyst now, perhaps on the 15. Whether it be this 15 candle close as is, followed only to be followed by something like so. Bearish engulfing M15. What that is going to do is close the M30 back bearish. The M30 will end up looking a little bit like so. The back are rejecting this level to the left. We were to begin to break low of that bearish candle with the 15-minute added confluence, the bearish engulfing. Prior to entry, you want to create the upper wick, and then I'd potentially look for a sell to take it back down. So that's something we could contemplate. I need rejection, I need confirmation on the 30-minute time frame though, prior to any entry here. Hunter, do you think it reacts to the order block? What's that, gold? To me, it's still got room to the downside. We've cut through, or tapped into that level and bounced off it. But it looks like we could potentially hit back down to it. So once again, let's just check a few things out. First of all, what sort of margin do we have down to the support at the daily low? It's one thing we need to determine. Once you count for spread, 20 pips. The other thing we need to work out is what would stop loss be. It's just pumping, it's way too wide, man. It's not going to be worth it, guys. It's really not going to be worth it unless still. So let's use a FIP, and it still could create a high high. If it does, we need to adjust it. It needs to close below that level of 0.382. That would suggest it's a weak closure. then it may come down to the upper wick on the new candle, because right now the stop loss is going to be too wide if we were to use what will be the previous candle, which is the current, obviously. So that is perhaps the last, very, very last chance at the current level to look to sell. Otherwise, just need to patiently wait. What to do with YouTube? Obviously, 16 wins in a row on stream isn't good enough for majority on YouTube. You just don't get any traction on it. Can't figure it out. Laser Crypto Man. Yep, all good, preserving capital now, and the profit will come. That's it. It's just as important. Rock Lee. This is spot gold, mate. ByBit. I use it also. Executions are much better if you use C Trader platform instead. Oh, really? Okay. But can you use a EA trade management tool? That's my question for you, my friend. Because without my magic keys, I'd be lost, to be honest. I don't know what to do with myself. Thomas, are you taking trade live on stream? If it presents, I will. And Power Rift trading. What do you think will happen with Gold USD now? I don't know. I'm not going to predict what will happen. I'm going to react to what happens. And right now, it's just stuck in the middle of a range, just above the 4-hour support, below a 30-minute resistance. It's just very difficult at the minute. There's no clear direction within price action. I don't have any clear signal or any confirmation of trade at the minute. I just need to wait. Like I said, GJ, at a decent level. The issue to the upside is we've had no exhaustion whatsoever just yet. It's just come from pretty much the lows of the day. So I can't buy it upon continuation. I need to let it reset. Otherwise, if it rejects, I'm definitely going to be keen on selling it. And will it go up or down? Don't have a crystal ball, I have no idea. Again, I'm just going to react to what I see. It could go up, it could go down. I'll try to take advantage of it either way. ByBit, which tool? Magic keys, mate. It's just the EA toolkit. There's on-screen versions. I've got both the on-screen. I've got the actual calculator itself. Hardware tool. Chevoy Taylor, where will you enter? And at the minute, there is no entry. And the way this candle is popping back up, I mean, there's likely not going to be one until we at least pop back up. Potentially this point. I'm not writing that point off. Do I have a clean move down? Clean move up prior to it. But again, we need to consider things like what sort of margin we got, what our stop loss is. So at the minute, there's nothing. Is it Franco? Man, turn it down quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's coming through the microphone. It should not be. The mic settings, I'm pretty sure. No, I haven't changed them, so it should be right. going on, my team? Where are you all today?
Hey, good morning, Justin.
Frank, good morning to you, mate. How are you?
I'm fine. So, yeah, woke a little bit late up this morning.
All good, mate. Haven't missed a thing, so.
Okay. How about you? How are you?
Yeah, good. Very good, mate. Had a very busy day. Went to the gym, did a few things, did all my washing. Had a good coaching session just before the stream, actually, and yeah, here I am now.
Yesterday and why? How it was?
Gold was just mucking about, to be honest. Took an entry on GJ for what was a -2 pip loss in the end. Very small loss. So it was it was a well managed trade. The entry was valid. But I probably should have waited for the 4-hour level to be met as opposed to the 30-minute. So I did upload it into the trade journal section with a video of what happened. But yeah, otherwise just a quiet one. Did upload, yeah, a little bit of education as well, just a quick video.
Okay, yesterday, someone of my family members had birthday.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
So you're off the chart?
I will.
Off the charts?
Yeah, I was off the chart, and
fair enough.
I will send you a WhatsApp which family member it was.
Nice one, bro. By all means. What are we looking at today?
I don't know. So I arrived right now at the charts. I was not looking at. Yeah, GU was touching at least the support.
Yep.
Also from yesterday. Maybe below that level, some sells. And for buys,
difficult.
I don't know.
It's funny because I just mentioned, someone asked about GU before. It needs to close below this point because it's wicked down into it multiple times and keeps popping back above. As soon as I switched the chart back to GJ Gold, whatever, look what it's done. It's literally tapped right near the low and then popped straight back up. So that's why in this situation, when it's coming from consolidation, we don't place self-stop buy stops. We wait for a confirmation. Wait for it to clear this crap because it could just be grabbing some more liquidity in order to head back up. So you need the closure below, retest, and that is your valid option. It's in an uptrend still as well, so.
If you look on the M30 candle, so you see how the liquidity grab is there. So if maybe this resistance was not there on the M30,
yep,
maybe
it'd be a decent entry.
Yeah.
I do agree. Just based on pure price action. Switch down, that suggests we'll grab liquidity from the downside. As soon as you begin to break, that's your entry. Just don't really have the margin here. Alright, GJ still looking okay. So what happened was the first 15 closed bullish. Now we're looking for a pretty much a bearish engulfing candle, or very close to it. And that will close the 30-minute back bearish with a long upper wick. And off the back of that, you may have some options to sell it. Gold, we're heading back up to the resistance. You can now remove that. There is no option to sell it. And it's just very awkward, to be honest. There's nothing on gold at the minute. Nice one, Franco.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, lovely. Alright, what have I missed? ByBit, you can use MT5 for market analysis and C-Trader. Oh, I don't even use MT5 for market analysis is a nightmare, my friend. I, for the life of me, cannot chart on MetaTrader. It shits me to tears. That's why I use TradingView. It's just so much easier. It also has built-in trade management like auto stop. Oh, wow. Actually, look, I might download a demo account download it on a demo account just to play around with the platform itself, because I've never actually used C-Trader. But a lot of people have said that it's a much better platform to trade from rather than MetaTrader. Look, let's face it, MetaTrader is quite it's a bit of a dinosaur, to be honest. It looks old. It looks like it needs an upgrade. Alright, so we've got just over 11 minutes until session open.
Did you look at EU? Because it's nicely looking if it's closed off resistance.
Got a minor level on 15.
Yeah, maybe
tapped
above
into
this
it.
level.
Yeah, so it's tapped into it. So what I'd ideally like to see in this situation, I made a bit of a move though on the 30. I'd want the 30 to close up right near its high, because that point there, you're going to actually be closing pretty much at the high of that minor resistance as well. And then it looks okay to the upside. Would I prefer a little bit of exhaustion? Yes. Is it still valid though? Without it, yes. Would I feel comfortable though? Probably not. So I probably would prefer to prioritize a little bit of a minor pullback or just a pause. Maybe tapping back into that resistance and then look for an entry as we can pop back above, like so. That would just make me feel more comfortable. So, considering it's already made for EU, it's quite a decent move, to be honest.
Yeah, what I recognize is that the daily range is now coming to the normal range.
Settling down a little bit.
Therefore, you need to look. Maybe there is some exhaustion there. Maybe it's really better to have some pause in.
Yeah, I agree. Again, you want to be comfortable. I mean, trading is risky. No matter what you say, it does involve risk. So you want to try to eliminate as much of it as possible. And a good way to go about eliminating that risk is just having a solid plan and trading what you feel comfortable to trade. So, for instance, a price action pattern that you're familiar with at the right level, which is going to make you more comfortable in the trade. It's not going to make you sit there thinking, oh, I probably shouldn't have taken that. Goes in a bit of profit. You maybe cut it short, or maybe it goes a little bit against you, cut it short, and then it goes for you. I'm going to try to eliminate as much of that as we can by following some rules, and that's the best way to go about it. Oh, it is nasty. Oh. Voice is cooked. Faisal, which chart am I looking at? This is GJ at the minute. But a bit, yeah, it is. It's very good for expert advisors, trading bots, and yep. sure. Jack, yeah, pretty good day, mate. Made it to the gym. Had a coaching session, did my washing and all that stuff, so. Amante, why you didn't live yesterday? No, that's with the VIP, my friend. That's a private session. I was with my group I was on for about close to 2 hours, now and 40 minutes, I think, roughly, now and 45. Yeah, so after London session streams are for the members group only. Sketchmas, morning to you. Yeah, it is the, yeah, man, I keep forgetting, let's check the monthly. And let's look at, first of all, GJ. Ugly. Yeah, it is just a mess. It's forming bearish, but it's tapping into a bit of support here to the left. Looks like could close weak bearish. Let's look at gold. Still yet another bullish candle. Yeah, I mean, it's going to close bullish unless something big happens, some big news, breaking news, forces it or makes it drop. But it's likely going to close strong bearish, so I'm just looking to levels to potentially buy from. But again, I'm still wouldn't be opposed to selling it at the same time. Amante? No, not on stream. Deep with the group though, with the members group. It's a real, very well managed loss in here. Marcus, this is, well, my preferred pair is gold. But I do also keep an eye on, and I am willing to trade GJ. Let's look at the hourly as well. So the hourly will override the 30. So I really want the 30 to close bearish. If it closes bull, I mean, the hourly is still going to close quite a strong bullish candle. But if the 30 closes bearish, let's just mark it in. Let's just say it closes near its low. I mean, it's going to be a pretty weak closure on the hourly. So I would be, that would be enough for me to sell it. Now it is coming to London open as well, guys, so we definitely need that upper wick. Gold rejecting as well. Once again, nice catalyst and would be valid if there was the margin, but there quite frankly is not. Weak bullish pause. If price is to break it, there's a good chance of seeing back down to 33.02.003, that sort of region. So I'm going to focus on GJ for the time being. It's been a while on stream. Actually, no, it was last Friday. No, last Friday was gone. Yeah, it's been a while on stream since I tried GJ, I think. Make sure I'm on the right time frame. Wouldn't be a big stop loss. That you're looking about 14 pips. If it is to be valid, stop loss back above the high of this candle. And I look for a potential entry just below the 30 low, but I'd really love for it to flip back bearish. Akis, how much money do you need to have in order to make good profits? Look, it all depends. Obviously, the more equity you have, I suppose the greater potential return. I mean, if you're following a proper, if you're following proper risk management, like 1 or 2% a trade, just depends what you determine to be significant and substantial, because all good profits. I mean, for some people, a couple $100 a week is huge. For other people, it's nothing. For some, $50 a week is a big return on their account. So it all just depends, mate. What your expenses are, your lifestyle, that type of thing. Alright, GJ, we've still not had a pause, so I would not still consider buying it if it does close above. Yeah, GJ looks like it's not going to present. I'll just send an alert. Look at gold. Doing its thing. Lots of volatility, but just no clear direction. Once again, let's just measure it. 22 pips. It actually looks pretty good, but again, it all comes down to the potential entry candle, following candle. How far it pulls back to create the upward, because I'm not prepared to take such a big stop loss with only a 20 pip margin. So you're looking at a stop loss of roughly 46, 47 pips. And you got 20 pips to target. It's just not, it's not good enough for me. So I'll see how the London Open candle forms. If it does pop straight up, I may contemplate a sell as it begins to flip, using the high of it as the stop loss. But it can't pull back too far. I'm gonna probably draw a line at the 1-to-1. So give it about 20 pip upper wick, and if it pops up above that, I'm just not gonna bother. Because it's starting to become a bit of hunting rather than waiting for your entry to come to you. But as far as a pure price action catalyst, it actually looks pretty good at the minute. So it'd be potentially at 33.0485, but I've not set any order. Session open. Pop straight down. Quite the opposite of what I wanted it to do, to be honest. Let's quickly look at GJ. Yeah, it's closed way too strong. EU rejection, wow. So again, hence why I wouldn't take the impulse entry coming from afar, and GU not really much on that. Well, that's not that's definitely not enough of an upper week. More likely would have been slipped, to be honest. Yeah, so that's it. I'm not in that trade, guys. I'm not taking it. Don't trust it. It's got just a tiny upward. It's not enough for me. There it goes. $30 looked pretty good, but again, it's just difficult to trust when you're running out of room with such a small stop loss.
think this is not the usual margin what we have on gold at the end.
Nah, nowhere near it.
Even if it looks like good, but yeah. So you need to have a better stop loss at the end, so another wick on the actual candle, and then more margin.
Yeah, this needs to pop up a little bit more. I mean, if we had more margin, that would be okay with that. But you've got 20 pips with a 40 plus pip stop. I think it's like 45 plus. Really not worth it. Wei Liang. No, I mentioned before, I'm not interested in buying GJ without any exhaustion. And to be honest, it looks like it's struggling on the 15 to continue here. So at this current stage, I'd rather prioritize a potential sell. User, this is, no, it's not the M5, mate. It was the 15. 15 and the 30. Not even sure if it would have hit TP1, to be honest. Maybe just. It'd be a back and entry. It's right at where I would have set it. 85 was where I would have set it. Mo, 33.02 is the best entry. Yeah, I think that's a very good potential entry point. I wouldn't just enter as price taps in. I want to wait for a confirmation, and I mean, we'll see, because again, the more data we print here, the more difficult it becomes to trade. And again, I know there's no rush. There's just stick to your plan and wait patiently, because there's opportunities maybe in the next session if nothing presents just now. Again, I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to wait patiently. My plans are long gold. Don't have any plans to buy it or sell at the moment. I'm just waiting for price to get back to one of my levels. So look, if it potentially bounces off this support, I may consider an option to buy it. But considering the way price is approaching that level, it's going to be quite tricky. It's not going to be clean back to the upside by the looks of it, unless this 15 makes a nice clean move down now. Just based off where we're at on the charts, GJ looks the better option to me, but again, I don't have the confirmation just yet. Merc gives... It's not a signal service, my friend. We patiently wait for the right opportunity. I mean, I've stressed it. I can't stress it enough. And how many... I've shown it time and time again on these streams. Just wait, just wait. Yes, sometimes we wait and we don't get anything. But we also realize afterwards we've avoided taking a big loss. That happened yesterday. And then we know if we wait and wait, sometimes we get our opportunity. And we know if we do wait, I mean, 16 in a row on the stream. So, I mean, I think the stats back it up why I wait for the right opportunity. Oh, no, man. I know you're just having a laugh, but all good, man. I appreciate your support. Akis, yeah, look, it is. I have a business too in the background, but off return, similar, to be honest. Do I enjoy it? Of course I do. What I really enjoy is seeing people get better. And I've received some really nice messages from some of my team members about the difference what time is made for them being in the group themselves. I had one yesterday I shared on IG. Someone is very quiet in the background, occasionally sends a message, and sent me some results, and really happy to hear it, really happy to see it. So that particular gentleman understands it's about patience, time in the market, and realizing that you don't always need to be involved, but you know, working out a plan and how things move and what your strengths are and playing to your strengths. So I always mention to my guys, you don't need to be a jack of all trades. If for instance the breakout entries, if you find don't work for you, just avoid them, completely avoid it. Focus on a zone to zone entry. Closures below, retest continuation, closure above, retest continuation, that type of entry. The thing is, you got to be willing to put in the time, make the effort to, you know, watch the content and get involved. Man, look at GJ now. It's crazy. Is there any news breaking? That was earlier today. Trump going to make a fair deal with China on trade. That's interesting. User gold looks good. Not for me. It looks trash to me. It looks like shit, to be honest. Just long wicks to the upside, to the downside. It's indecisive at the current level. Double bond and buy. Fair enough. Not a problem. That's your plan. Follow it, mate. MW, how do you become a member of your group? There's my profile page, mate. There's a link. Sarah, I haven't taken a trade at the minute. Was contemplating some gold entries, but yeah, couldn't get involved. Not fussed because it may not have been a win, even, to be honest. The way that candle dropped, I likely would have been slipped. There's a good chance it would have been slipped. The Thunder Club, if you believe, then that's what you do. But I don't have a signal. I provide my own signals, and at the moment, price action, which is what confirms my signals, is not showing me a thing. Let's quickly do the rounds. Let's have a look. GA. I'm gonna do a top down. I'm just gonna look at 2 time frames here. Actually 3. I'm gonna look at daily. All right. Look at the 4 hour to see where we are. Bullish as well. Also gonna look at the 30, which is technically bearish. Alright, GA. I'd be looking for sells from current level. Daily's forming quite a strong bearish candle. 4 hours bounce to support. 4 hour provides a bit of a conflicting story, to be honest, to the sells. 30 is bearish though. It's the most recent level, so I'd focus on that. I'd be looking for buys above it. If it was to begin to pop above. sells from back below, or potential options from the support, seeing it is technically, the bias is technically bullish. GU, absolute mess at the minute, avoid it. EU the same, much the same. AU looks a bit cleaner than the other majors. Has flipped back bullish on a 30. Yeah, I'd be looking for buys upon the pullback or potential buys above the resistance. That's for AU. Get Euro CAD. The charts are shit, to be honest, guys. Most of the pairs are really shit house. EJ flipped on the 30, but where it's at, you're a bit late if you were to buy it, so I'd focus on options to sell it. EA potentially breaking and closing above a resistance. EA is a tough pair to trade. Bouncing off, by looks of it, 4 hour support. Yep, very strong support. Bearish on a 30, looks good if it did reject for a sell. If it flips the structure bullish, there's the option to buy it. So that's EA, looks a bit better. Euro CAD looks shit. So that's a quick scope of the charts. Everything for me, there's nothing. GJ making a bit of a move up. Still absolutely no exhaustion. You got a liquidity candle there, but it's just so far gone for me to trust it. Mo, gold fly. Yeah, has no idea at the minute. It's just consolidating. ByBit, bearish overall. On, what, on gold or? Loyalty family. CHF and JPY, Swiss JPY. Whoops, CHF, that's what I was looking for. Avoid it. Seriously, I'd avoid it. Looks shit. But anyway, let's do the top down weekly. Weak bearish. Current candle is also forming bearish, but it's an inside bar candle. Very little volume. Daily. God knows the last time I looked at this. Structurally is bullish. Let's look at candles though, more importantly. And previous candle closed bearish. Current candle. Previous candle also tapped into a level of liquidity from a few days back to the downside here. That's quite a significant low wick. Current candle has also created a low wick and is just an inside bar candle. So as long as we remain above this 172.450, I think there's a good chance it could continue up. The next issue though will be breaking above 173.70. The 4 hour it's technically bearish. Yeah, this looks really nasty. Consolidation in 4 hour. Whenever there's consolidation in 4 hour, just don't trade it. Trust me. Thank me after it. You're going to spare yourself some serious loss. Because 4 hour consolidation always resembles a mess on the 30. So in this situation, irrespective of structure, bias, and all that stuff, let it create clean moves. Cut through to the upside, either cut through to the upside, look for rejection, then you're playing within clean traffic, or drop to the downside, clean move down, let it form support, and then you're playing within clean traffic back to the upside. That's what I'd be doing in this situation. It's just an absolute mess. The funded club, we have an idea, do we? Lots of OG caps. What was that on what CHF JPY? Look at it in 5 minute. The only idea I could see in 5 minutes is if it pops up and rejects again, but it's not my time frame. I need to correlate it with a 15-minute closing back bearish. Like I've said to my team on a few of the calls, look, if you're going to trade for 5 minutes, there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to have the data to back it up. I quite frankly don't have that data. Because what I do works for me, so I don't feel a need to go down to the 5 minute, and when things aren't looking the best on the 15 or 30, I don't feel a need to go down to the 5 minute to justify an entry, because that to me becomes, again, chasing and hunting. I don't chase, I don't hunt, I let the chart come to me. That's plain and simply what I do. A lot of the people come to me have issues with patience and discipline, and need some clear direction, clear rules to follow. And that's what I'd like to think I'm really good at providing. ByBit, just engage my bots. Okay. Interesting. You're using trading bots. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, thank you to all new followers, by the way. Harry, Trump versus 100 Bulls. He'd probably still win. Whatever he tweets would still win. Mar1, it's my first week learning to trade. So much information to absorb. Have any tips? Yeah, there's going to be a lot, and you're going to see so many different streamers. You're going to come across a lot of different strategies. What I recommend is just taking your time with it. Find something that resonates with you. Give it a go. Don't just after 1 week, because you can't make it work, give up on it. Practice, learn, engage in that particular strategy. Gather data for a couple months. It's going to take time, but you need to do all this. You need to commit to it. And then again, the more you commit to it, the more you're going to learn. You're going to pick up on things, and then you might be able to make it work for yourself. Good way to go about it is just by continuing to tune into the lives. You'll learn a lot just by doing that. Learning, we don't always need to be involved. That's another thing. Find a club, 15-minute change of structure also. I don't see a change of structure. Again, the way I determine structure is a little bit different to the average. It's just consolidating, mate. Again, if you've got a signal, you do what suits you. But for me, I have absolutely no reason to trade this at the minute. Tony, nothing at the minute. So what I am doing, or what's happening, I'm starting to get a bit of a sore throat. Amante, do you think trading bots are just a scam or can work? No, look, they're not a scam. But you got to be careful with them. There are different types of bots. Some like to, I mean, most bots will get triggered in drawdown and continue to trigger in drawdown. But for me, you just have to draw a line as to how much drawdown it will accept. And I know some bots have gone into massive drawdown and have had to cut it, losing substantial percentages. So I personally don't really trust them. I have a good mate of mine who's been working on one. The results are quite good. I have not really personally been training it, so well, I have not been training it. So I think there is a place for it in the market, but again, I don't really feel a need to use one. Who knows? Maybe in the future, if I'm convinced by one, I might do so. War Raikan, thank you for the sticker. Appreciate it. And to be honest, the market is run by robots. I'm not sure if I'd be able to work out how to code my own bot. I mean, I'd never be able to work it out. I'm shit when it comes to that stuff. But even then, I think a lot of the time it relies on human intuition. Like for instance here, I would not be taking impulse entry because it could reject. It's just coming from consolidation. If it goes, fantastic. Could not give a shit. Whereas a bot might trigger me in there. I don't know. Marcus, what's the difference between trading and gambling? Well, to be honest, trading is a form of gambling. I believe trading is a more educated form. Some might argue different. Some might argue, you know, depending what type of gambling, if it's, you know, poker or whatever. But again, we can use the past to pretend, well, not, you know, no one can predict the future, but to give us the best sort of estimate of where price might be going in the future, using particular patterns within price action and signals that we are familiar with that tend to work. So if you've got the data to back it up, then yes, it's still a form of gambling, but it's a more educated form in my personal opinion. But the fact of the matter is, the majority still treat it as pure gambling.
Yeah, if you don't have a risk management, then
yep,
it's pure gambling at the end.
Correct.
So for me, this is pure mathematics. So if you have a win rate of 75 to 80%, so there's nothing to do with gambling.
Yep, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
it's just
you have
like
to,
doing a job.
You have to have this risk management, and then it's not a gambling. So for sure it's a guess because you didn't know what happened. Yeah, but
yep,
if you have a risk management at the end and you are looking on your results on the past, so you can make money from that.
Yep, 100%. And the way I see it, it's a bit like for me, it's a bit like a really boring video game, because I follow my rules, and if it ticks the box, I activate the next potential move, or my move anyway, by placing a trade.
Listen, at the beginning, I was very exciting for trading and so on, and that's a good point what you mentioned right now. So it should be boring at the end and not exciting. So,
yeah, sure.
And then you are taking out all your emotions.
Correct. We all love to take a win. It's hard not to be happy about it, but you've got to control it, because at the end of the day, it's just another trade. Same as a loss. At the end of the day, it's just another trade. Knowing that your data suggests you're going to win a lot more than you lose, you just got to accept what comes. Yeah, like right now for me, look, at the moment it's bloody boring, because I'm waiting 4.5 minutes to see where we close here. My work in between is to determine what sort of margin we got. Again, we've got absolutely, for gold stuff all, it's really not much. My next thing is to determine how, if I can, how could I potentially get involved in. Definitely need the closure above, definitely need the lower wick on the falling candle. Definitely needs to retest this zone, and then potentially break above. And I need to have the margin, which I likely wouldn't have either way. And if it does fail to close above, there is absolutely no way I'll consider it. DJ, I know there is sweet FA I can do about it until we approach the next level and see what happens. And to be honest, it's about to confirm a structure flip, which will now give us a bullish bias, but I wouldn't want to buy it into the resistance, and it is a 4-hour level, so I would look for some potential rejection to still potentially sell it. Similar to what we had here. This happened not long after stream yesterday, actually a bit after it, about an hour and a bit. Something I definitely would have considered taking, 100%. You've got a dual catalyst here. You got the bearish engulfing M15, and you had a 30 closing back bearish after leaving a long upper wick, pretty much tapping into the level here to the left. Just wasn't on the charts for it. So again, it's my responsibility to wait for price to hit back up to that level and see if I get something like this present yet again. And also, interesting. How's that for a risk of one? Stop loss is going to be about 7 pips. That zone. Alright, good old gold. Doing its thing, but again, it's just not giving me a strong enough confirmation. Jibes, this is a 15. ByBit, you use custom once coded by myself and supervised it. Okay, nice one. It's a good question, by the way, Akis, about whether trading is gambling or what's the difference? Sorry, between trading and gambling. The Thunder Club says, should we join him at the bottom of all bottoms? Not for me. Wasn't an entry. ByBit, if you don't manage risk, it is worse than gambling. Exactly, 100%. Some people still refuse to use the stop loss. What happens when he's not that short, is he? Taller than me anyway. Donald Trump gets on his phone, decides he wants to whack 150% tariff on China, and you're in a gold sell and gold rockets to the moon or something, and you don't have a stop loss, and you get a margin call. And believe me, it can happen. And I would not feel sorry for that person, because it's just reckless, it's just stupidity. Nate, gold longs this week? Potentially, but wait and see. Zainab? No, definitely not minute time frame. Francis, nothing yet. It's not valid for a buy as well. It's closed below. Kane, FX. This is, mate. It's gold, mate.
Justin?
Yep.
Question to, because tomorrow here in Europe, most part of Europe, there is holiday.
Okay, is there?
Day.
Oh, there is too. Wow,
So,
where is that?
Will you trade tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll still be on. It's still
Okay.
the England British market is open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll still be on.
Okay.
Could be a little bit quiet, but it could also mean it makes we get some bigger moves because it won't maybe take as much volume to move the markets. Who knows? I mean, I will be about though nonetheless.
Okay.
Is it a big day in Europe, in Germany?
Yeah, so it's the day of work.
Oh, Labor Day.
Yeah, so that you are not working at the end. So yeah, it's not a great day, but it's a day that we are not working here in Germany.
Interesting one if it's midweek. But...
Yeah, it's the 1st of May. So what's matter at the end.
Oh, made it. Yeah, it's not a holiday here.
Mm.
Zainab? Ah, fair enough, mate. So Shuan, 84, Crypto IDX. What? No idea what that is. Charts are ugly at the minute. EA's closed above, probably looks the best. You've had a little bit of a pause prior to it. Yeah, EA definitely looks the best. You got a confirmation now of the 30-minute structure flipping back bullish at a 4-hour support. EA looks good. Let's potentially fill this market open gap, or it's not even a market open gap. It's just a market gap. Spec, is that in reference to EA? Yeah, EA looks like not a bad buy option, to be honest. Actually just consolidating on the 15, really no clear direction whatsoever. Use TradingView, I'm just on the basic, mate. I don't have a paid subscription with TradingView. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I'll never use the replay feature anyway, so for me it's not worth it. I don't use indicators. Amante, how many trades do you have on average during a week? Probably anywhere between 2 and 6, 7. To be honest. But again, I'm really strict with it. I'm not sat here on a charts for 6 to 8 hours a day. For the most part, it's this particular call, this stream. And then if I'm trading MY for the team for about an hour and a half or so. So for the most part, the max is about maybe 3 hours of a day. Because once again, I'm not going to let the charts dictate my life. And it's been proven the human brain can only focus optimally on something in particular for about 30 minutes or so a day. So you're starting to eat into the brain power a bit after after that, and you're gonna start to try to justify why you should take a trade, even if it isn't quite something that you'd normally take. You're gonna maybe become distracted and lose focus and come back to the chart for a second and say gold pumping, I'm going to buy it now, and then it drops. So yeah, so for me, I trade restricted hours and focus on just one or two quality setups if they present. So usually I need a 30-minute catalyst. Good thing is still for the first 15 minutes of the M30. Now we have burst through this level, so I can now remove it. So once again, what I need to see is first of all 30-minute closing back bearish. Second of all, I need a catalyst within it, because if it's the close bearish engulfing on the M30 is good as strong as of a catalyst it is, and I have too big a stop loss, it's just not going to be worth it by the end of it. So I need within a 30-minute closing bearish, I need another catalyst, whether it be this candle closing bearish followed by a weak pause candle, or even this candle closes weak bullish followed by a bearish engulfing candle on the 15, that might be enough. Mr. Terminals, I don't trade EU. Luffy FX, my bias. It's neutral at the minute on gold. Just don't have a valid entry anyway. Bow spec, do you maybe know a way to recognize incoming range market? Sorry, bad English. Yeah, no, your English is fine, but I'm not too sure what you mean by incoming range market. That's why you're using EA. XY sells based on fundamentals and chart analysis this week, to be fair. Yeah, it's in a pretty big downtrend at the moment, isn't it? It's closing in on a resistance, so yeah, I'd be looking for options to sell it. Obey, g'day to you, welcome. So let's see if we can get a closure above here. Okay, Joe, gold. 15-minute bull change of character. Came to retest the order block, hence it will buy so hard. Fair enough. Rose gold, I mean, sell now? Okay. not doing anything at the minute. I'm still waiting. Stop loss is at 33.16. Back above the resistance. Okay, I'm not too certain of what your confirmation was to actually sell it, but I wish you the best of luck. Okay, everybody's selling while price action is buying. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point at the minute. Look, it's at its resistance, so I can understand that, but price action is quite bullish. Yeah, so I personally wouldn't be trying to sell it. I'm just gonna remove that. So let's say on gold, it's a pretty strong bounce off the flyout support. I want to see a closure above. Definitely need to see a bit of a low wick. Haven't really had a pause. I mean, we've had it in the 5 minute, we've had a little bit of a swing, a little bit of a pullback. I just need that closure up a little bit higher. So we want to pop up. It's going to close above the 50% of the zone by the looks of it. It's right at it at the minute. It's not quite. There's no entry for me. I don't like when it's whipped straight back down, to be honest. Yeah, it's just a clear rule I have. My team will know, and the newer members will soon know what will validate any break. Well, it's not technically a breakout, I'd call it impulse buy here. Breakouts when you're creating high in the uptrend. But it would be a more impulsive buy as price begins to break the resistance. And technically, off the rule I use, it just wasn't valid. And I don't like the way it's popped straight back down. Alright, first potential tick here on GJ though. Nice strong closure on the 15. Now we want to see this candle closing very weak bullish. Bilal Khan. No, for me there's nothing. Gallery store. No, I wanted to close a little bit higher up. Nate, waiting for gold sweep daily liquidity around 3,300 before entering buy swings for the week. To be honest, I like that idea. I think it's a really good, solid idea. at least you've got a plan. Yeah, so I hope it works for you. I hope you come back tomorrow and you can tell us that you had a nice win or you're in some nice profits. That'd be good to see. Bilal Khan. It's a potential zone to get involved in trades, but it's at the moment it's not a buy or sell zone. Don't have a confirmation to sell it, and nor do I have one to buy it, but it's a potential level to consider entries from. Jacob, yep. No sell for me right now, no. Marley Mazza, it's look up to you, not for me. Larry, will I? Not in a trade, it's a hit TP. Rose might flip back soon. Larry, you want to sell it? Alright. Rose, yep. Nice one. The Thunder Club, well done. Tesh? No, RIP doesn't look convincing for a sell. I mean, nothing looks convincing at the minute for me. No, fifth, nothing for me at the minute. Oh, man, look at GJ pulling all the way back up. Patience, 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 team. Just relax. Chill. Sarah, still no court treatment. If you're asking, if you're meaning still no entry, no. A fifth CAD JPY sell. Looks pretty bullish to be honest. Maybe not. Weekly bearish at consolidation at support, so yep, okay, that's a bit of a tick for a buy. Daily counter probabilities, tick for also for a buy. Bouncing off support, the 4-hour is also technically bullish. No, it's actually flip. No, it's well, it is bearish, but potentially flipping back bullish, I should say. Breaking a resistance. Yeah, the buy, I mean, if you get a bit of a pause here, potentially on the falling candles begins to pop above. I like this to close very close up to the high and look to buy it in falling candle. That would be my confirmation. One hour and 4 hour. Yeah, 1 hour looks good, but you've only got 9 minutes left, so unless you're already in it, then you're looking okay. 4 hour, it does look good to the upside. But if you're asking me the next move, that's what I'd be waiting for. Waiting for this candle to close up in high and trading it on the next hourly, next 30, next 15. Joseph will go to 3260, 3200 soon. Gold. We will see. There's a lot of news about. Then up to 3,500. Yeah, I believe it's going at some point back there. 0, no buys. Again, hence why I don't take an impulse entry when not without the right confirmation. Because had the spread have widened, then you would have been triggered into a buy had you just placed the buy stop at that point there. I mean, you're now stuck in significant drawdown. So it's the reason why I have these rules again, guys. You can make it boring, but it makes it a lot more probable. That's for sure. Sam Fong, how did you learn to trade? Any advice? To be honest, I, like most, jumped on at the time was YouTube and searched Forex trading. Actually searched crypto, sorry, it was Bitcoin at the time, and came across a group. It didn't take much convincing, to be honest. I got for a scam. It was a real scam. I mean, I did learn a little bit from it, but I was paying $250 US a month for basically what was just baby pips, like basic chart patterns, head and shoulders, and all that crap. It didn't include signals. For the most part, the signals were never even correct. Like a lot of time, you're gonna buy whatever, but the buy's already, halfway in or whatever. But it turned out they're actually copying signals from someone else, or there was a group of them using the exact same signals. Because I knew a guy was in one group and another group, and he said, "Look at this." He sent me a screenshot. It's the exact same. So yeah, so I learned the hard way. Did learn a little bit about swing trading though, I must admit, when it came to Forex and that. But then I decided to go on the search again. Went to YouTube and came across scalping, and was really interested to hear that I could make the same return as well as making swing trading in a matter of minutes. And it's not for everyone, because it suits my personality, but for some it maybe even raises their levels of anxiety. It's not for them. Yeah, then I obviously joined another group, learned a lot, ended up coaching within that group after probably only about a year and a bit, to be honest, and ended up streaming for that group. And then thought I wanted to do my own thing, do it my own way. I was a little bit restricted, so that's why I'm here. Got my own rulebook, got my own entries, and yeah, life's good. From Tom from Melbourne. Advice, I would say just watch people who trade live, because we're not hiding shit. I mean, we put ourselves on the line. There's reasons why I won't take a trade, because again, I've got rules to follow. Not trying to float, because with the good there'll be the bad. I've had 16 wins in a row on stream. Yes, granted, I don't trade every day, but I prove a point why I wait patiently for my rules to be ticked off, for the setup to come to me. In a minute, nothing is close to being ticked off. Gold rejecting yet again. Yeah, so just watch people who trade live. That's what I would recommend. Okay, Joe, see profit, take profit. Marley Mazza, then there's nothing at the minute. You can do what you want. I don't have an entry. On the go 777. This is gold, but I'm not in any trades. I think that's 10 or yen. Am I playing gold? I'm watching gold. Not doing anything with it in a minute though. GJ is like a slow burner in comparison to gold. Doesn't look great in a 30. Yeah, gold's just consolidating. There's nothing on gold. Hema, that's a sell. That's sell. Yeah, nothing for me. This XX Shack ZXX. There's a gap that needs to be filled on the 4-hour chart. I don't trade trade gaps. I call these clean moves. That's what I call them. Yes, it is more probable that once price moves into those levels, that will make a clean move. But until doing so, there's nothing to suggest it has to fill any of those levels. On the go? No, it doesn't say your name is Zim. It says on the go. Up Nation, do you stream on Kick or Twitch? No, on YouTube at the same time. With YouTube, you get the full screen, so I get absolutely no love on YouTube. Apart from my furniture, the guys have been there forever. Peter J, I'm in Melbourne, mate. Melbourne, Australia. On the go, I'm working with the 15 mainly on gold and looking at the high time frames. And GJ is mainly the 30, working my way down to the 15, starting at the high time frames. Sarah, no, there's nothing. It's just shit house at the minute. It's just ping ponging between the support and resistance. The charts in themselves are crap for me across the board. GA's at a decent level to potentially look for options. GU's at back at support. It needs to close below it if there is to be a sell. EU, nothing. Nothing on AU. EA, well we did call it EA and that would have pushed about 13 pips. So that's one I did say looked good for a buy. Had the confirmation of the 30-minute structure flipping back bullish. Breaks one resistance, closes above it, it's a high probability of turning up towards the next, so that would have been an entry if anyone took it. Well done, don't think anyone did. GJ is not valid. It's closed above, so simple rule again, not valid. So nothing for me. Gold, forget it, just let it. Don't try to anticipate moves. Don't get FOMO. Just chill on gold. It's in a funny minute. Rose, good work. Nate, what I think of gold based on higher time frames? Well, the way I see things, it's actually technically flip bearish on the 4-hour on the closure below this wick. So where it flipped back bullish is until back above the all-time high, unless we confirm a lower low by closing below this lowest point. Then the swing point will be back at, if it was to happen from the current level, this will be the swing points to where structure will flip back bullish. So on the 4-hour, I see it as actually bearish. I do see the daily structure as bullish, and it's bullish for quite some time. It won't flip at this stage until back below 29.60 roughly. It's not confirmed the high or anything. Very bullish. Weekly, based off the candle itself, I see it as good chance if it breaks low, making a deeper pullback. But if you were to ask me, high time frame picture, I think we're still very bullish. GJ, wow, it's just melting. All good. I didn't have the confirmation, so what can you do? You move on. That's it. War icon. Yeah, I mentioned before, it's trash. let it create a clean move to cut through this. Either up, reject for a sell, down, reject for a buy. By creating a clean move, you're going to cut through all this mess to the left. Otherwise, it's just a area consolidation, slow trickle up, down. It's not, there's no entry. Ali, good day to you. Went short at 33.12 mark. Nice one. TMC, good work. Match curl, 32.80 potentially. Wahid, of course, might melt down a little because of DXY. DXY, I mean, potentially don't always inversely correlate though. DC, this is not crypto, but if you ask me a Forex pair to trade for beginners, I choose the majors because they're slower moving. TMC, you're gonna hold the sell, yep. Rose and bug because there is no wick. Alright, fair enough. Here's me just sitting here waiting because there's nothing. Arlene, it's funny, it is difficult, it's very choppy. On the go, do brokers charge fees for entering? Yes, they definitely do. For entering, and if you are to hold overnight or over the weekend, also you're paying extra fees on top of that. Paying a swap fee. Just waiting for news, yeah, potentially. Alright team, well, for me, it's been over 2 hours now. I'm not getting anything just now. I'd be waiting to see how gold reacts to the 4-hour support if it does pop down to it again. And what you want to see is now this move to the downside. You want it to be a clean one. You don't want it to start flipping back and leaving long wicks back to the downside, close back bullish, because again, that just makes this area very choppy, very difficult to trade. So if it is to continue the move back down, we want to see one of two things. Price respect it, provide a price action catalyst from this current level. Try to correlate with the strength of the approach on the 30. Seeing it is strong, there is volume. You want to see at least the 30 closing back bullish. Use what's going on within it on the 15 to validate entries. Otherwise, sellers still look good below 3,300 basically, and buys above 33.15. GJ nasty in the minute. Yeah, I mean, forget it. Just look shit. It's plain and simple. On the go, if you're not using leverage, why can't I let a bad trade run until it turns positive? Hey, look, that's up to you, but have a plan, and the reality is most people are using leverage. Seb, yeah, look, there is volume, but it's just indecisive as to what direction it wants to move in, so it makes it a bit difficult, but all good. All good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chill. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. Have a busy evening on my end. I'll be on with my team again, pretty much the same time as yesterday, so about an hour prior to MY Open roughly. So I'll catch you guys later to the team. I'll stop the call just now. And to YouTube, TikTok, thank you one all. Nothing today, but difficult. Not bothered, nothing ticked the box, so we just go again tomorrow. What is WAP? WAP is the platform that gives you access to the VIP, basically. It's the bot. The bot, once you sign up, will give you access to the VIP. Discord link. Okay, I'll pop a new one in. Hold on. For the community. I'll pop a new link in just now. I'll pop it into the chat. YouTube chat. Carl, take care to you. Franco, all good, man, not a problem. Alrighty guys, take care, have a good one. If you want to know more, whatever, send me DM, I'll get back to you. And cheers, have a good one. All the best, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.